Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Must Play, a FairWagers golf podcast, where we evaluate the country's most talked about golf courses to determine if they are truly a must play. I'm Shawn Massey.
I'm T.J. Van Gunten.
And today we are evaluating ourselves. We're doing another bonus round episode, but this time we're taking a look at our 2024 goals and how we did as golfers and as a podcast. Then we'll be diving into our 2025 goals and talking about 3 courses each that we want to play this year. But first, I think our last bonus episode was at night with beers. This time we're doing it in the morning on New Year's Day with coffee. So a little bit different vibe. Cheers. I got a Peugeot. This is a free ad placement for Peugeot. Best coffee roaster near me and Gilbert. If anyone goes, try it. It's amazing.
I'm still on a cold brew kick, just at home. Although,
so am I. Did you get after it last night, New Year's Eve? What'd you do?
The fiance and I usually try and get out and do a nice dinner on New Year's Eve. So we made sure that happened. And then, as any couple over the age of 30 generally tends to end up on their couch, barely making it to midnight. Maybe cheersing. We were sharing a bottle of champagne. We cheersed and then pretty much promptly went to bed. But I probably had a more exciting New Year's Eve morning than I had evening, because let's just say some things changed yesterday when it came to goal setting for 2025 and the goals that I had for 2024.
Okay.
We'll lead off with my first goal from 2024 was to play 15 rounds of golf. Going into yesterday, I had 14 rounds. Then we changed that. So we got the 15th round of golf in. 15th full 18. I don't count like when I go out and play like 9s at like the little executive.
Yeah.
We got the full 15th round in yesterday morning, Mission Trails in San Diego. Now, the round was great. I was still prepared to just say, okay, let's copy and paste the rest of these goals over onto 2025, with the exception of the 15 rounds.
Right.
But some other things happened. This year, I set a goal for myself to break 95 and a stretch goal to break 90 if I did break 95.
Because what's your handicap?
I'm like a 27, 26 usually. So
okay.
My PB going into yesterday was a 96. I have broken 100 more than a handful of times now. It's not. I'm not always on. I'm happy when I break 100, but I'm not on like, oh my god, starting to freak out if I'm in that range. So yesterday we're playing. I don't necessarily fully keep track of where I am at when I'm playing. I just kind of write my scores down, input them into 18 birdies, free ad placement, and then go from there. But I knew that I fired off a decent string of like 6 holes going into the turn yesterday. And I decided to look at where I was at the turn yesterday. And I fired off a 45 on the front. And I was like, whoa. Oh no, we're on 90 watch. I had nothing over a double on the front, which is like, great for me.
Is this a par 30, 36, 36, or what's the...
So it's a 71. I think it's a 35 on the front and a 36 on the back.
Okay.
So still within like the realm. It's not like I was playing like a 68 or anything like that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I shot 90. Because I didn't shoot 90 either. Now, where things got a little wiry, I get to about the 12th hole. Now, I also had a goal on here to play a full 18 without losing a ball. Play 18 with the same ball. And if you've played Mission Trails before, it's a little open. It's open. There's not a lot of forced carries. And I hit 12. And keep in mind, because of this, I played all day. I took 5-iron off of every par 4 and every par 5 tee yesterday.
Because you were trying to stay within like your limits, or because the hole required that? Like, what was the...
So some holes do require it. Some holes are 200, 210 out and then a dog leg left. So I'm like, okay, driver doesn't fit there. But even on holes when it did not, I was still just firing away 5-iron because I was honestly striping 5-iron.
Hitting it well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm hitting my 5-iron well and it's going 200, 210, like, and it's going straight or even just a little off to the right, I feel like I have no reason to try and completely screw up the game by bringing out driver.
It's the same thing as that clip we posted of me at Torrey not wanting to put on a Q-zip when I was cold because I didn't want to change what I was doing. When you're hitting that one club really great, you're like, we're just sticking to the formula. Like, why change it?
I do not mean to fully divert from the story that's about to happen on hole 12, but yesterday it was San Diego cold. So it was in the 40s when I teed off. I am in polo, sweater, vest. The sun rolls out hard at like hole 5. By hole 9, I am sweating in my clothes, but I know I'm playing well. And all I could think about was that clip of you not putting on layers because you were playing well, and I didn't want to shed layers.
Yeah.
And then I doubled 10, and I said, "Oh, thank God I can take this vest off." Like I was like, cool. Because we had like I said, I think I had a 6-hole stretch where it was either all pars or bogeys.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't mess with a good thing right now. And then I doubled and I was like, okay, cool. We can start to shed some layers here.
Yeah.
So I get to 12. 12 is the first and I think pretty much only like forced carry on the golf course. And guess what happens? The brain starts going, oh, you haven't lost the ball yet. This would really be the only opportunity where you could like really just hit like a duff
Be a
tee
shame if you
shot.
lost the ball finally.
It'd be a shame if you lost the ball here. And lo and behold, we put that ball in all the shrubs on a chunked tee shot. That ended up being the only. Didn't find it. It was huge bush. Huge.
So we
bush.
putting an X on this goal right here on 2024 in the agenda.
We are on the 2024 agenda. It's going to sneak peek to the 2025s. It's going to roll over.
Okay.
So, and I ended up with a 10 on that hole. 3 off the tee, and then I couldn't see which way the hole kind of went down the hill. It was a little blind. So I hit to where I thought the green was, and again, striped another 5-iron. And it rolls down like into just like this hard, compacted dirt. And I've got a shot where it's sitting up above on like a root, and I'm standing below the root. And it's like sitting a good 6 inches up. And I hit that forward. It hit like the cart path and bounced back and bounced further back down the hill. We ended that hole with a 10.
Where's the head at after that? Where's your mentality? What is it?
So I was pretty pissed, right? Especially because it's one of those ones where I'm like, if I had played this course before, I would have never hit that ball that far left. I would have known that everything right was safe, and I would have just hit it right. And I would have probably got out of there with a 7 or an 8 at worst, not a 10. A 10, it hurts to write down a 10. And this was like a legit 10. I didn't just like hit a bunch of shots on a par 5 and then like write down, oh, I'm only going to take double par there. Like legitimately like putted in and was like, ooh, good 10 save. So I knew that for the rest of the round, I pretty much had to play really good golf. I knew that breaking 100 was like a foregone conclusion. I knew that I couldn't afford any more blow up holes, and I knew that I had to actually play like good golf by my standards.
Mm-hmm.
But managed to just stay the course one hole at a time. Shout out to Rev Mac, who posted a thing the other day, who it put me in such a great mindset for the round of not aim to have a par putt on every hole. Like if your goal is to get a par putt on every hole, and for me, if I have a par putt on every hole, and even if I 2-putt that's a bogey every hole.
That's a 90,
that's going to be a 90. Yeah. So that was a lot of the mindset that I kind of tried to go into of like, hey, you don't have to, especially hitting 5-iron off the tee. And like sometimes your second shot on a par 5, you're 280 out still. And the instinct for me to like want to rip a 3 hybrid, and sometimes I did depending upon the hole, but like knowing that like a 3 hybrid could go wildly in one direction and just instead like plotting the course and just staying with a 5-iron was great. So I think after that 10, I think I went bogey or par for the rest of the round. And then I kind of had an inkling of where I was at. I didn't know exactly where I was at on 18, but I knew kind of where I was at. And I doubled 18 and was like livid. Like put one off just on like my approach shot, and then flubbed a chip just the touch to where it was like just off on the fringe. and then putted one, and it just takes off down this hill. And I was like, what are you doing? And then I 2-putted from there to put down a 6. But then lo and behold, looked 93. We get to cross this goal off for this year. Long story short, last day of the year, broke 95. Did not play the round without losing the ball. And then the other 2 goals that are on here that I have not accomplished this year, I wanted to play around with no 3-putts. That did not happen, even yesterday. And then I wanted to play around without hitting 2 chips on 1 hole. And yesterday there was one of these, and I'm livid about it.
Oh, but you had gone the rest of the year without doing that?
I had gone the rest of the year without doing that too.
Oh, that's
so
tough.
I don't get to cross that one off. It's been a bane of my existence. Shout out to one of our sponsors, the Gimme Pro, who has actually been a huge beneficiary, or not beneficiary. I guess I've been the beneficiary. They've been a huge help in making me fix
a strategic partner.
A strategic partner. We shook hands, and so
the synergy is off the charts.
The synergy is off the charts.
Let me react. Well done, 93. Congrats, new personal best.
Thank you.
So I expect 2025 to have a new bar to set. But 2 things. One, the Rev Mac quote. I think we should make like a segment with him that's like, do you remember Deep Thoughts with Jack Candy on SNL?
Yes.
Let's do like Rev Mac thoughts, and it's like just like Confucius, like wise sayings or something, and music in the background, because he's got a lot of good advice.
Oh yeah, the guy's been around the game forever, and he's such a calm, even keeled person that I'm sure he has such weird wisdom in how he plays about the game. He hasn't even unearthed it out of his head, and then he says it, and we're like, you should put that on a poster and hang on your wall in an office
or shirt. Second thing, so you got your new personal best on a course you'd never played before, and that is equally as impressive. Because if you're going after like a number, generally you need to go replay a course where you know every hole, what it's going to do, where not to miss. Like Encinitas Ranch, I think was your personal best before this, right?
Yep.
I would expect you to go back there and be like, let's go break 95, but having that happen at a new course, that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I know everyone's going to probably jump in the comments and talk about how easy Mission Trails is, or how open it is, or how short it is, but I don't care. I shot a 93, and for my game, so much of my game is mental, and like starting to get really nervy when I start to get around those numbers and starting to overthink things. And I'm happy that I stuck through it. Like, it was a humongous mental victory yesterday of knowing that, like, yes, you can shoot that number, and like you shot that number with a 10 on your scorecard, which means that like if you take that, I know it's easy to say, oh well, if I take that 10 off, it's literally the video that I posted the other day where it's like, if I didn't put that ball OB on 7, and then if I didn't 3-putt on 10, and then you go back and do, I mean, there's so many shots that I wish I could have back, and then there's also so many shots that I hit yesterday that I was like, damn, I wish I was recording that shot. That was such a sick shot that I hit. Like I hit a 60 degree, again, shameless plug, shout out Rival, from like a downhill lie. And I was like, this probably isn't the right move, but I have to make this like a par or a bogey hole right now. I can't afford to have another double. And like stuck it to like within 8. And I was like, this was an insane shot. And like the 3 guys that I was playing with, I don't think anyone necessarily like saw it or saw what I did. It was over a bunker too. I was like, man, I wish I had a video of this shot, because that was maybe the best shot that I hit all day.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
Enough about me. Let's talk about your goals. There's 2 of us on this podcast.
I hope people stuck around to listen to a man talk about his round of golf. We've all had.
We'll throw up a little highlight of when to jump to actual goals besides just TJ's 93.
Okay, my 2024 golf goals. I had break par, and I'm happy to say I did that at Ocotillo Golf Club here in Chandler. I had 1 round with no 3-putts. Spoiler, it was at Ocotillo. The round that I went under par. Surprise, was
isn't it? That's definitely one of Tiger's like 5 rules on playing better golf is no 3-putts, right? Like,
yes,
shocking.
My game is hampered by putting. That is the ceiling that I have to continually try and break, is putting for me. I've over 2024, humbly would say I've raised my floor, but I have had a really hard time with putter. When historically I was known as like a good putter, this year I was not.
Yeah, you're like saying this, and I'm like, I don't remember Shawn being a bad putter. Like, I
That's the
remember Shawn
thing.
actually being a pretty good putter.
Public memory was that I was good, but this year I was not, except for that one round. So, which is why I said have only one round with no three putts because I knew where my limit was. I had play 5 rounds with my dad, and I did not do that. Sad, but that's not my fault. That's my dad's fault.
Whoa, deflection.
Let me tell you why. Maybe one day, Mr. Massey will make it on the podcast, but he is a cheapskate, and he will not play around over $50. So if you want to get 5 rounds in, you better go June, July, and August with my dad.
Oh boy.
And the tee time has to be before 7:30 a.m. So good luck trying to find the tee time for $50 or less before 7:30 in the summer.
Yikes.
Nice Christmas light. I like that move.
Yeah, I was sitting here and I was like, why are these are going to look weird here and not on?
Not on.
Yeah, sorry for the continuity error for anyone who breaks these clips up.
Yeah. My 4th goal was play golf in a new state, a state that I'd never been to before. Did not hit that goal.
What you wanted to play golf in a new state that you've never been to, or you wanted to play golf in a state you've never played golf in?
The latter. Yeah.
So hold on. We played Chambers this year.
I had played in Washington before. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because you had snuck in on Jones's side of the river and played in Washington?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Camas Meadows was the one I played in Washington. So I had never played in I thought for me, the state that I would do it this year was going to be Nevada. I was like, I'll probably go to Vegas or do something at some point where I can just sneak around in over there. It's not far. Right. Or Utah. Never played golf in Utah or Nevada.
Right.
So
yeah, we did flirt with a St. George trip there for a little bit. And every time I see it, I go, what are we doing? Why didn't we go? Why didn't we go?
I have golf in random states. Like I've played golf in Florida. I've played it in like Michigan, but I've never played it in any of the states bordering Arizona besides California. And then my last goal was play a top 100 public course this year. And we did that at Chambers Bay. So, that was an epic time. And I know we have a video eventually coming out about that, I believe.
The Must Play will definitely go cover Chambers Bay at some point this year because it's one that's got to be talked about.
So those are the personal goals. And then we had set some goals for ourselves as a podcast and as a company, I guess you would call us. Account? FairWager?
Entity?
Entity? A business entity? Not for tax purposes?
No.
So you want to take us through the FairWagers 2024 goals?
Yeah. So we had set just 2 brief goals for FairWagers. Most of the other goals that we had set were around Must Play as the podcast. Social media can be fickle some days. So it's tough to set goals when you don't necessarily have control of the algorithm. You have more control over your podcast and the things that you do and the frequency of those things. But we wanted to hit 2,500 Instagram followers this year on a caveat here of less than 1,500 follows. I think it's very easy. I don't mean to shame anyone who's done this or if this is your MO, but I think it's very easy to get to a certain number of followers if you very routinely follow new accounts and just expect those new accounts to follow you back.
Yeah.
What that does not generally tend to do is create a community. So you end up just getting a bunch of people who follow you because you followed them. And they're like, oh, you're a golf account? I'm a golf account. We should be friends. And you don't actually end up creating any rapport or doing anything like that. So as of this recording, we're just a little over 1,700. We came a little short, but I'm not mad about where we are at. I am actually very happy about where we are at. I think we are curating a nice community of people who like our content and don't just follow us because we follow them.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly. I think the community continues to be the world. Community and world building continue to be the things that are usually at the forefront of my mind when I think about doing
I like that theme.
Social media. And then we also wanted to hit 250 YouTube subscribers, just a small number. I think when we initially started this, we had some other ideas for the YouTube account. And I think we want to get a little bit more back some of that mixed in with
Mhm.
the must play episodes. But thanks to the must play episodes, thanks to YouTube bumping up the shorts time duration and being able to cross post a lot of our posts, we've gotten to 206 YouTube subscribers for the year,
Woo.
just short of the 250 goal that we set out at the beginning.
Hey, I'm happy with that though. I mean, like you
Again,
said, we're sitting on some content that we could put up to the YouTube channel that's not must play, obviously.
mhm,
If I can tease one coming soon, I think we have a little gambling game between Jones and I that we're going to post here soon. But
yep,
there's that kind of stuff I want to do more of. The only problem again is that we just don't live in the same state. But one of my
yeah.
goals involves you, TJ, and it's a little bit more golf with you this year. So
Hey, now I can't complain about that.
we'll film some more.
Yeah,
Okay, take us into the must play 20, or do you want me to do 2024 goals for must play?
I can talk about these. I
All right.
think most of these we can agree on. So initially we had set a goal for 10 episodes. We hit 10 on the dot. We snuck it in there.
Yep.
I think when I set this goal, I had done the math at our 2 week cadence of must play episodes. And then knowing around the holidays, we'd probably bump some things up to 3 just based upon recording schedules and holidays. And I know that having a guest on for all of those episodes sometimes messes with a lot of that timing as well because people can't make things work during the holidays. So, and I think I kind of said, there's a lot of podcasts who make it to like 5, 7, maybe 8. I think 10 in my mind felt like a number where if we hit 10 by the end of the year, there was no doubt in our mind that going into 2025 that we weren't going to continue to do this. We
Yeah.
said we have committed to doing this. So we hit 10, we dropped a bonus round on you, so we technically hit 11 because that was like a full length pod talking about the Scottsdale trip. And then we're kicking the year off with another bonus round today. And then we're going to jump right into episodes here real quick. With those 10 episodes, I put a very average number of 1,000 listens across YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music combined. I thought, 100 each will be great.
Yeah.
We hit 2,600 this year. Now, I know that is not a person who listens to every portion of every episode, but I'm ecstatic about this. This was a huge number for us. Like, I remember I kept setting like stretch goals for this, being like, let's get to 1,500, let's get to 2,000. And then once it hit 2,000, I was like, let's leave it alone. It far exceeded what I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
So very happy with that. Very happy with how all of this has panned out, and I think that number will only continue to rise, obviously, as we have more content out in the world.
But before you get to the other, go ahead.
Yeah. No. I was going to jump to the other one. So if you're going to
I was going
talk,
to say, before you get to the other ones, taking a break from the self-congratulatory remarks, I want to say, anyone listening to this, I hope you interact with us. Give us feedback on what you like or don't like about the podcast. Also, tell us courses you want us to go review. Um, I want to get out of the region of states that we've been playing, and one of my goals is tied to that. I do think that more recommendations, interaction from followers would be great. And recently, we had the opportunity to go play with someone who followed our account for the first time. And that was a dream come true for me. Like, having someone who listened to the podcast give me feedback on something we said during the bonus round episode of the Scottsdale trip was really weird, but also really rewarding. So I just want to hear from people more and hopefully make this podcast into something that not only we enjoy, but you guys enjoy as well. So please.
Yeah. The piece that I talked about building a community, I hope that anyone who's in our community can come and feel free to like speak to us, that we are going to be able to take constructive criticism very well and not be like, well, F you, this is our idea. How dare you disagree with it? I
Yeah.
think we're all open for that. And I think we're also working on something where we can start to feature courses that necessarily aren't in where we live. We know that, yes, we want to get out to more places and play more courses that aren't just in the Pacific Northwest, Southern California, and Arizona. But we also want to highlight some people's favorite courses across the country. So we're working on something coming in 2025 that should be able to get some more courses out there and
Yeah.
have some people discover maybe some more hidden gems that they didn't know about across the country.
Yes.
That's ultimately, I think, also what we want to do is we want to highlight like good courses to go play that aren't just the courses that you know about,
Yes.
So the very exciting stuff there. So moving on, I also when we set these goals down, this was also very in our infancy. I wanted an actual logo and branding for the podcast. We had initially had like a very, no offense, Shawn, a very crudely put together Photoshop of a golf ball in like our heads and
no offense, none taken.
And so I was like, I kind of had a vision in my mind that I very hard pitched Shawn on. That was very much my idea. That shout out to Alec over at 8-Bit Birdie, who kind of put together our vision into what you have now seen as the Must Play logo and branding that we use across everywhere. And yes, I know, folks, it does get confusing sometimes on Must Play versus Fair Wagers, and that's why the podcast logo says Must Play by Fair Wagers. We probably plan on having more podcasts or more things to do someday, so we want to keep all that underneath the Fair Wagers umbrella. If the way that I also explain it to someone if they're in the golf world is like, think of no laying up. Like, most people know who NLU is, and they have this umbrella, and they do like Live from the Kill House, and they do what else do they do, Massey? Like in terms of podcasts or YouTube series, they do.
Yeah, they got their own. They have like multiple podcasts that go underneath. They have series on YouTube. They have all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So it's all under like the NLU umbrella. That's what I think about for Fair Wagers, is that we have this Fair Wagers umbrella, and then Must Play is something that lives underneath that.
Yeah.
Right. The next goal has got a tiny little asterisk on it. I wanted physical Must Play certificates, stickers, maybe a plaque, something that we could potentially go give to courses if they were cool enough to put in there and say, hey, this course is a certified Must Play. And if they could put it behind the desk.
Some guerrilla marketing, slap it on.
Guerrilla marketing with stickers. I do have our first run of stickers on the way. They are currently in the printing queue, and we should be seeing those shortly. So if you are listening this deep in this episode and you want some stickers, hit me up and we'll drop some in the mail for you. I should have enough to do that.
Nice.
Lastly, we're going to stop tooting our own horn. We missed a goal. I wanted 50 Spotify followers this year.
Yep.
And we came just short of that. Not just short of that. I think we're around like 21.
Yeah.
I think that sounds. I think we're just eclipsed over 20. So if you're a person who does consume this on Spotify, go hit that follow button. What are you doing? Why aren't you following? I know we're going to post about it on social every week, but if you're listening to this on Spotify, you know what? Wherever you're listening to this, Spotify,
anywhere,
Apple Music,
yeah.
If you watch it on YouTube, hit the button, smash the button.
Okay, so drawing a dotted line underneath everything you just said. Let's transition into 2025. Looking ahead. We've got individual goals and goals for the podcast. And then I mentioned at the top, we're going to pick 3 courses that we each want to play and why we think they might be a must play. We haven't played them, but we have inklings of why. If you don't mind, let me start with my goals and then we'll get into yours.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so I want to score 1 round in the 60s. This is the stretch goal for me, okay? I just wanted to break par this year, and I did, but I was only 1 under. I have never shot a 70, so 71 is my current best. I want so badly to shoot a 69 or better. Just something with a 6 in the front would make me extremely happy. I know which course I think I'm going to do it on. So
it's Mission Trails.
No. I've never played Mission Trails. I need to get out there.
You might be able to do it.
And by the way, this is score 1 round in the 60s on a par 72 course, not a par 71. So
so not Mission Trails.
No, so on a par 72 course. And do you want me to tell you the course I think it's going to happen on?
Give me a state.
Guess? It's near me.
It's near you. Is it Longbow?
No, that's a tough course.
Is it a tough course? I haven't played Longbow.
I'll give you a hint. I call it my home course all the time.
Oh, it's why can't I think of it?
Dobson Ranch.
It's Dobson. Yes.
I want so badly to shoot in the 60s at Dobson Ranch. There's nothing about that course that screams like I shouldn't be able to. And I've had even par rounds at Dobson, so 72 is my best at Dobby. I think I can do it.
Dobson, let us know if you want in on the Shawn Massey Break 70 series. When we'll film it at Dobson.
Just tracking me. I'm going to have to put up some serious rounds at Dobson this year. Uh, okay, my second goal. I want to play one round with 15 greens in regulation. Not 18. I don't want to be perfect here. Just 15 greens in reg. My previous best is 14, and I feel like I can do 15. It doesn't even need to be a great round like in like breaking par. I think I'm purposely going to go out one day or multiple days and just go middle of the green as best I can. Ignore where the flag is and just
Yep.
see what I can shoot, but just middle of the green every single shot.
It
So
it would be really interesting to think about a round like that of like if I'm just playing for greens in regulation,
what can I shoot?
what would I shoot? And
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to see if and when you cross this goal off this year, what also the score of that round was.
Yes. I
That will also be a real litmus of where your putting actually is at.
Yes, it will be 100%. I'm off the tee, and even my approach, I've been pretty good this year. But where I get in trouble is pin hunting. I'm like, oh, I should probably aim middle, and I still somehow find right before my swing that I'm aimed at the flag, and so I need to just tell myself go to the middle of the green and see what I can do.
Yep.
Okay, so my third goal here is play 10 rounds with you.
10.
10 in a year. Okay. I don't know what we did in 2024, but I can tell you it wasn't 10. It
It
was,
wasn't 10, but we weren't far off of this. I'll be honest.
I don't think,
If you
I don't think we did more than 5, to be
We
honest.
did more than 5, I can tell you that much. Look, this year we went to Washington. We played 3 in Washington. Okay?
Yeah.
I just played 1 last week with you.
Yeah.
Okay? You came to California. We played
Torrey and
Torrey
Crossings. Yeah.
and Crossings. So we're already at 6.
Yeah.
We're already higher than the number that you thought.
Okay. Still not
Did I come to Arizona? Yes, and then I also came to Arizona this year. We played Phoenician, we played Grass Clippings, and we played Southern Dunes.
Wow. Okay, let me
We
change this.
played
15 rounds with TJ, like I said. Play 15
Did you
rounds with TJ.
did you forget that both the Scottsdale and
Yeah,
the Pacific Northwest trip were both this year?
100%.
In my
Okay.
head, I was like, that's 6 rounds right there. And then I know we've
Yeah.
bopped around a bunch of others.
Okay, 15 rounds with TJ.
We don't have the
Okay,
same
I
state,
have.
folks. Like
Sorry about that, guys. I have one goal here. Play one round with 7 friends. I
ooh.
I have never had an 8-some on a course. I've heard of, and I have been very close to going to bachelor parties that had 8 guys on a course. Never attended any of them, and I'm really really eager to go play with 8 dudes, like 2 foursomes chirping at each other back and forth from the tees.
So you're talking not 8 on one hole at the same time. You're talking 2 foursomes.
No,
Okay.
like 2 foursomes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I've never been out with 2 foursomes. Yeah.
Okay. I will say I have done this one. It was a good time. And
Yeah.
I think based upon a goal I hit in 2024 of getting engaged, I think might lead us to checking this box off for you in 2025. You might have been leading the witness here.
I was hedging maybe a bachelor party with 8 guys.
It might be.
My second to last goal here: play in 3 scrambles. I really love scrambles, and in the spring here, there's a million charity tournaments. I already think I'm playing one with Jesse, and I'm playing the Sombreros Open again this year. Hopefully, we can get you out to play in that one,
or at least just ride along and film some content.
I think you need to come out and play in that one. And I don't know what the third scramble will be, but I want to play in 3. And then my last one here is another feel good one, and it involves my dad again. But this time it's take my kid Kai on the course with my dad. I have not had a round with both of them on the course, and I just want the wholesome full circle moment of seeing them on a green together with me. So we'll see if we can make that happen. There is a course here that I think I can do that on, but the attention span's just a little rough right now on the.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you think Kai makes it through 9?
We'd have to figure out in the golf cart like what we're bringing along to keep him going. Yeah,
True. I also love that you lowered the bar for your dad from 5 rounds to 1 round.
Well, no, 1 round with Kai and him.
Right, but like you didn't roll the play 5 rounds with my dad over into
No,
2025.
no.
You
He
just
played
got rid of that expectation.
he played 3 rounds of golf last year, I think. So,
Oof.
and I
Oof.
was with him on all 3, so
Speaking of numbers of rounds played in my 2025 goals,
please.
we're gonna bump the number 15 up to 20. This might get increasingly harder as planning a wedding is probably, well, definitely is happening. But I'm hoping that with a deeper interest in our own podcast and, Massey trying to make it happen more frequently and him having a goal associated with it, that I will actually end up playing. If I play 15 rounds with Shawn this year and I don't manage to play 5 other rounds, that's on me, dog. Like
Yeah,
that's
on you.
usually on me.
Yeah.
I also want to play 5 new golf courses this year.
Nice.
I think I think there's too many courses in the San Diego area that I have not played. Unfortunately, I just played one yesterday, so that's one less course I can try and check off the box for 2025. But I also think that I live way too close to Palm Springs to not be getting out to Palm Springs and playing courses as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then we're gonna roll over. We're gonna roll over a handful of goals from this year, or I guess I technically now last year as of yesterday. So a round with no 3 putts, a round with no 2 chips on a hole,
Mhm.
play around with the same ball, preferably a full size course, not an executive. I think I've done executives where I've played with the same ball. I don't like to
Yep.
count that. And then the stretch goal becomes a real goal this year. Let's break 90. It feels like it was right there. It's oh it, like it, for as ecstatic as I was, I did what every golfer did yesterday after the round and thought about all of the moments where I could have shaved 3 strokes off or 4 strokes off, and really, every time I 3 putted and was like 3 putted from like inside of 15, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Um, and then one last one. I had a look this year, and I think the reason I put this one down is because it is going to force me to get better with my driver, and I want an eagle this year. I've had my fair share of birdies. I obviously I can have more birdies. I would not be upset with more birdies,
Yeah.
but I want an eagle this year real bad. And I think the way that you have to get better with driver if you want eagles, right? You have to have the
Mhm.
distance. You have to have manageable second shots in, or you have to drive shorter par fours. I had a look this year up at Elk Ridge on us kind of futzing around after a 9-hole match that went to 10. Spoilers. But I think with that goal in mind, I think I can really frame it up of like, hey, if you want to check this box off, you have to sort out your driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
If I'm playing 15 rounds with you, I think I'll be there for the eagle. I have a feeling that I'll be witness to that.
props to you. I think you were very much in my ear yesterday. It was the Rev Mac have a par putt on every hole, and then I'm sure I played with my future brother-in-law yesterday, and I'm sure we've only played golf a handful of times, and I'm
Uh-huh.
sure he thought I was insane yesterday with the amount of like talking about the shot that I wanted to hit before I would hit a shot. But it was
Uh-huh.
like in my brain, you're gonna like people are gonna probably like laugh at this and be like, gay. But I was like, what question would like Shawn ask me when I'm thinking about hitting this shot here? Like, what's the distance? What's the club? Where's the trouble? Is it cold? How far is how far above is the hole or how far below is the hole? Like all the questions that like sometimes I just kind of like rush my shot through, and I just think like
Yeah.
number, club, and I'll just walk out there and swing. So instead of like, I think I ended up going through the process a lot more, but I was doing it
Yeah.
aloud as if I was talking to you.
The course
And
management just out loud.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Or just being like, look, man, don't compound a bad shot with another bad shot. Like
Yeah.
just hit a little punchy 7 here. This is a 5-iron. We can lay one up short and then chip on, and you'll have a putt at par. And then like just plodding through the course that way.
Nice. Hey, that makes me
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. Let's speed through the Fair Wagers 2025 goals. Do you want to talk
Just
about
list them
these?
out. I have 2 at the end there that I kind of want to get into a little bit, but go through them
Okay.
fast. Like,
Yeah, so we want to hit 3,000 Instagram followers. I think I want to keep our followers less than 1,500 or 2,000 still. I think that's a good, healthy number.
Yep.
And we bumped up that YouTube subscriber number up to 500. Obviously, with a full year under our belt and more podcasts, and the more podcasts that we want to talk about here, and you'll see in the next portion we talk about must play goals. I think that's a feasible number.
Yeah.
So jumping into the must play goals, I still want to do like a physical etched plaque or something. Like, think about when you would win something in like elementary school, and they would give you like the wooden plaque with the black like glossy thing, and they would etch into it. I want to get a course on board to have a must play certificate or a plaque like in their pro shop so bad. So if you are a course who has passed the must play test and you are a certified must play and you want this, shout us out. I will front the cost for this and ship it to you because I think this is too cool. We doubled the number of followers that we want on Spotify. We had 50 in 2024, or we wanted 50. We're going to bump that up to 100. Again, shameless plug. Go hit the button if you're listening right now. 10,000 new podcast listens. So we are not counting the 2,500 that we are currently at, or the 2,600 that we are currently at. I want 10,000 more. And the way that we're going to get there is I want us to do 20 new must-play course episodes. That's not going to include bonus rounds where we hop on and talk about our goals, or we talk about planning a trip to Scottsdale. And that's not talking about the potential new idea that I floated earlier. We want to do 20 course episodes. And I see there's 2 new things on here that was not on this list when I looked at it yesterday. Shawn, tell us about the other 2 that you've added to this list.
I wanted to have a reaction. So I have 8 female guests on this podcast. Why 8? Okay. I wanted to put half. I wanted to put half of our new 20 must play courses would be female guests. I frankly don't know that many women that play golf. So I was like, we're probably going to have to rely on TJ's social circle and a little bit more of the people who follow us maybe to kind of come on and be some of those guests. But I know that's going to be difficult because I can't think of 8 lined up that I would go have right now. I can think of like maybe 3. So I still think this is a really important goal. It brings that perspective for us that we don't have. We've had a lot of dudes on this podcast, and I love doing that. And when we talked about the Scottsdale golf trip, and I've listened to it just too many times. We keep talking about boys, 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 and I'm like, I really feel like we need to round this out because we always love playing with women on the golf course. They're some of the most fun times. They're really usually fast. They manage their game really well. And the way that they might look at a course or evaluate the course using the criteria of must play would be really interesting. Plus, I just really enjoyed when we had that episode with Alyssa about Coronado. So I want to do more of that in 2025. And then my last goal here, play and review at least 2 courses that are not in the states of California, Arizona, Washington, or Oregon. They can be 2 courses in the same state, but at least 2 courses. So if we do a little mini trip somewhere maybe, and we play 2 courses in, Utah or wherever, let's go do that. I think we just need to have the first out of those 4 states.
I can hear Blake. Blake was our guest on the Torrey Pines South podcast. I can just hear Blake aggressively rubbing his hands together as he listens to this right now, because Blake's down in Tampa and he's been trying to get us to come out and play Cabot since we talked to him.
Citrus Farms.
He wants us to play Cabot Citrus Farms real bad. And then I know there's some people out there in Orlando, and Orlando's not too far from Tampa, and I have family in Florida. We have some excuses to go to Florida. We can cross this off very easily this year.
Yes, I'm down. Speaking of our last section here, 3 courses we each want to play in 2025. I'll let you go first, but the criteria really is, why do you want to play these courses? What about them do you think will help them score well on the must play test? And just in general, like, what are you looking forward to if you got to go play these? And these are 3 that we each haven't played.
This is incredible. I haven't looked at this doc that we used to run through the show in a few days or so, and Shawn and I laid out the rough outline for this, and that day we kind of went over it, and we each put in 3 courses, and then I just scrolled down to this for the first time today, and my 3 courses are still just sitting there as solid bullets. And then Shawn has 3 to 4 bullets underneath each course that he's going to talk about. And I'm going to be like, okay, course number 1, Quintero. Heard enough good things about Quintero. Quintero is consistently at the top of the list in Arizona public golf courses, as it's usually 1. right? I think it's usually either 1 or 2. I think sometimes it bounces
Usually
back to
the top
Quintero.
rated public course in Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's one that's just got to be, it's got to be checked off. It's on the other side of the valley, which is why I never hit it up while I was out there, or why we also potentially never hit it up when I am in town, because it's far out there from where Shawn lives. Shawn lives on the full opposite side of the valley from Quintero.
I've played here, and I have a great Mr. Massey story if you ever want to hear one, not for this podcast. But I have been really, really wanting to go play this course with you. I won't say much else other than like you have to see it. It's a whole different experience. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a reason it's number one. I would also love to put it to the test, because a lot of times I think the courses that are ranked number one are often judged by the golf and the golf only. Maybe a little bit of hospitality sneaks in there, but I
Yeah.
think that's kind of why we came up with the must play test, because golf's fully about the 6 to 7 hours that you spend on the course, and not just the time spent standing on the grass or on the dirt. If you're me, am I going all three here? Am I just gonna, you want me to just hammer all three?
If you want, yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm gonna hammer all three. We're also gonna do Aviara here in San Diego. Probably, supposedly, one of the nicer courses here in not in Arizona, California. Ooh, it's early, and it's a great course from what I've heard. I want to make sure that we put it to the test. It's attached to a very nice resort. I'm sure all of the hospitality and the amenities are taken care of, but I want to put the golf course to the test.
Yeah. Never played there, and I really want to play there too.
Heard nothing but good things. Lastly, Sandpiper. I believe it's up in Santa Barbara. Great wine country up in Santa Barbara. I'm sure there's some great area for golf courses. I know that this one rides right along the beach as well. I think it has some nice views. And somebody, I can't remember who, but somebody definitely dropped this one in like our where should we go do must plays. And I think I want to put this course to the test. And I also think it's feasible for us to get to. I don't think it's too bad of a drive from.
No. Also, we could take the coaster train up to Santa Barbara and then Uber to the course.
Wow. You could do a day trip.
Wouldn't that be cool? A little coaster train on the way to Sandpiper.
The tough part about the coaster train is not drinking a full 6-pack when you're on
it. Well, for Ubering.
Hey now, Massey, let's hear yours. Enough about mine.
My first one is Rams Hill. We've both been recommended this course by a few people. Even Alyssa, who I just mentioned, said this is one of her favorites. It looks like an epic desert course. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and I think Bandon Dunes may have been the first taste of middle of nowhere golf I had, where I was like, wow, you could really make something somewhere that's hard to get to, and people will still flock to it if it's that good. I get desert golf 24/7 out here. So surprising to me to put a desert golf related thing on this list, but it looks so nice, and it looks like they do a good job with the amenities and service. Also, I don't know if you knew this, but free round of golf on your birthday. So you can't do it on yours. I know you got too many plans on yours. So I'm
might
thinking
try and sneak it in.
Maybe early April, we make a little trip out there for my birthday, and we share the cost of one round, but we get the other one free. We'll see.
We could do that. I also just discovered that I have the same birthday as one of our followers, and a golf photographer who said he's going out on his birthday to play his birthday round. And I said, I might tag along on
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Debatable.
Okay. My second course is Gamble Sands. Don't know if we're going to get out there, but I'm hoping we do. We're trying to make this work. They're opening their second course out there this year, and we're hoping to be one of the first to play it. But this is another course by David McClay Kidd, who did Bandon Dunes and Tetherow out in Bend, and I am a big fan of his work. He is a Scottish golf links style architect that just knows, use the ground as much as you do the air. I looked at this course. I've watched way too much content on Gamble Sands, and it's remote as well, but tons of amazing views right on the Columbia River, like the upper part of the river. We might be able to, fly into Portland, see Jones and Diaz, and take a really epic car ride up there. Or maybe just go into Seattle and just drive straight over. Who knows? But it looks like there's nothing but golf if you play there. It's just, you're there for the golf. but it could be really cool with the trip because some of the rooms are right on this long putting green, like punch bowl style putting green. And if we can stay in those rooms, we can just like literally open the slide door and walk out to the putting green and just start going at twilight. You've probably
No
seen the video I'm
excuse.
talking about.
No excuse to putt poorly when you can practice that frequently at Gamble Sands.
Yeah, but all the
Excellent.
betting you could be doing right there, oh, it just looks so much fun.
Yeah.
So those are two like really nice courses that I would put in the like kind of not like luxury, but more so like destination golf, right? Then
Yep.
I have my third course is like in the middle of the city, and it's a course that would buck that trend, but I've never played, which is Goat Hill. They look so much fun. If there was a word that I would use for this, I don't know if this is the right word, so they can feel free to tell me if this is wrong, but they look like the epitome of the Shaka sign. Just like take it easy, hang out, like don't worry about things, just come as you are. The vibes look epic. The stuff they post, they do a ton of stuff for kids. They're dog friendly. You can take your dog out there. I think Diaz took Nolan out there for a round.
He did.
It's a par 65, I believe, so it's shorter course, but it's 18 holes, and there's a lot of like forced carries and par threes over canyon and like hills. It's in the middle of Oceanside. I want to go. I just want to like literally throw on a hoodie, play there with a breeze or fog, and then head to Pizza Port in Carlsbad or some other place nearby that I love. It just looks like a great hang, great time. And so that's my last course I want to play in 2025.
Yeah. Backpacking off of Goat Hill in general, Goat Hill is not notoriously, but it's like the course associated with the golf company Linksol, which also has a super laid back Southern California vibe.
Yeah.
And I've only played 9 out here. It's about a 40 minute drive from where I am at, so I don't unfortunately get over there as much. But I met a friend who was staying in San Clemente who has a few kids, and we were able to sneak in 9 on like the last day that he was in town. And I was yearning for more golf after 9. I was like,
Nice.
this is so ideal. Like it's the round where you bring out the hot cup of coffee and you're using the hot cup of coffee to warm up your hands between shots. You know, you're just holding your cup of coffee. And I too also would have a dream to bring Lando out here and have Lando walk 18 holes with me. He is in no shape or form as well behaved as I'd like him to be to do that right now. But I definitely have that. I will definitely join you on this trip and try and get Lando out there if we can get the boys, get me, Sean, Lando, and Sean's son out there, and you know, just have a boys' day out at Goat Hill.
Oh, man.
That would be quite epic. And they also have like they I know it's a mat practice facility, but a great practice facility. And then they even have like a little free kids like 3-hole course, which is what makes it
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, it makes it so kid friendly. Like it's like a little
Wow.
like a tiny little pitch and putt, and I think it's like from what I can remember, I think it just says like free under 12. And then like
Okay.
it's like $5 for an adult, and if an adult wants to like accompany a kid and play with them. Like it's
Damn. Okay.
so
We're
they
gonna have
so
to
they
make
so
this
they
happen.
do a lot. They do a lot for like trying to get kids into the game and making it more friendly as well. Because then all their merch and all the stuff with like Linksol, they do some kid stuff as well.
Okay.
So let's do it.
Well, that's wrapping up our 2025 list. I think we have a lot of work ahead of us to do, but I am more than excited to kind of do this with you. If I can also be a little,
Mushy.
mushy. Yeah, that's a great word for it. Just having a blast. And I can't wait. You said the word community earlier, and I feel like if we were going to put like a theme on the year, maybe that's like community for 2025. Just meet more people out there who not only listen to us, but enjoy the game like we do. And I just want to play as much as I can with that crew. Even your San Diego crew, I hope they do a meetup here soon because I would love to join. It just looks like fun. But I can't wait to meet more people out here in Arizona as well.
Yeah, that was. I will say for one of the things that when we set out and started this whole endeavor, we were looking for more ways to try and pseudo play golf with our friends. We wanted to film rounds where we went out and played, but our friends were betting prop bets and betting on overs and unders, and we were trying to find ways to connect with each other more frequently. What I did not expect happening was that I would meet a bunch of more people that I would then also play golf with.
Yeah.
within this space and within San Diego. So that was very cool. I think the two biggest things for me were getting to meet actual people that I had connected with only through social media and play golf with them. And then I think shout out to a handful of our brand sponsors and brand partners and people who have gifted us things. Being able to gift things to other people, such as like a free round of golf and let a friend tag along for some golf with us, has been very cool. Being able to gift things to others and give back.
Yeah.
So it's a very cool feeling that I did not anticipate when we started this whole thing.
Yep.
So
okay. Well, cheers to more of that in 2025. The next episode will be back to your regularly scheduled programming. I'm not sure which course we'll be doing next, but we're going to be coming out with that pretty soon here. So we have a number to hit this year. So let's get to it.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, bud.
See you out on the course.
Thanks, Shawn. We'll see you later.